Welcome to the next video. In this video lecture, we are going to see an activity in the chapter Acids, Bases and Salts of Physics of Class 10th. This activity is present in both SSC and CBSE. In CBSE, it is present on page number 20 of NCERT textbook, and in SSC, it is present on page number 37 of TS SCERT textbook. So the activity is, we have to perform an experiment in order to find out how acids are reacting with carbonates and how acids are reacting with metal hydrogen carbonates. What do we mean by carbonates? The chemical formula of carbonates is CO3. So how acids are reacting with CO3 and how acids are reacting with, what is the chemical formula of metal hydrogen carbonates? HCO3. Okay, so how acids are reacting with carbonates and how acids are reacting with metal hydrogen carbonates, like what will happen at the product when they both react, that we are going to see in this video lecture. That what is the aim of this experiment? To show that all metal carbonates and all metal hydrogen carbonates react with acid to give a corresponding salt. So here also on the product side, whenever acid reacts with metal carbonate or whenever acid reacts with metal hydrogen carbonate, a salt is formed. These are the materials required. We need a stand, okay? Then we need this all is a part of stand. On the stand we have a holder and we need two test tubes here. This is one test tube which is having a cork fitted to it, and that cork has two holes on it. In one hole we have thistle funnel is infixed, and in the other hole we have a dilated tube is passing through another test tube. Okay, so we need two test tubes, a thistle funnel, a delivery tube, a stand, and in the test tube we need dilute hydrochloric acid. That is, we have to test acid, right? Which acid we are using here? Dilute HCl. Dilute HCl means dilute hydrochloric acid. What do we mean by dilute? Dilute means less amount of acid and more amount of water. And we also need sodium carbonate, Na2CO3 is the chemical formula of sodium carbonate. Okay, and we also need this carbon dioxide is being showed here because when sodium carbonate reacts with hydrochloric acid, carbon dioxide gas is released. So we don't need carbon dioxide gas. We need HCl and sodium carbonate. When they both react, then they will produce carbon dioxide gas. Initially, we don't need carbon dioxide. Okay, when they react, they will produce carbon dioxide. Okay, now let us concentrate on the procedure. So in the first case, we are taking metal carbonate, that is sodium carbonate, in the test tube. Okay. Take a test tube with 0.5 gram of sodium carbonate. Close the test tube A with a 2-hole rubber stopper. We know that, right? That test tube we are taking as test tube A. Okay, when we take sodium carbonate inside it, we are naming the test tube as test tube A. Now with 2-hole rubber stopper. What do you mean a 2-hole rubber stopper? We are making 2 holes in the rubber stopper, right? Then we are inserting a thistle funnel. As you can see here, we are inserting a thistle funnel inside one hole. Okay, and inserting a delivery tube inside the another hole. Then what are we doing is, we are pouring about 2 ml of dilute hydrochloric acid to test tube A. Okay, now till here will do. We are pouring 2 ml of dilute HCl to test tube A. Don't see this point. This point will do afterwards. Okay, so this, whatever I have explained you, this figure we are doing now, right? We have our carbonate, metal carbonate and acid react. When they are put in a one test tube, what will happen is, this sodium carbonate Na2CO3 reacts with HCl to form sodium chloride plus carbon dioxide. How sodium chloride and carbon dioxide is formed? Plus water. Sodium chloride plus carbon dioxide plus water. So how sodium chloride is formed is, see here, this will get splitted up. This Na will combine with Cl. This Na will combine with Cl to form NaCl, and this hydrogen will combine with one oxygen to form water, and then we have carbon is also left, right, and 2 oxygens are left. So it will form carbon dioxide. This is how we are getting sodium chloride, carbon dioxide and water on the RHS, that is product side of the reaction. So if you want to write the reaction in terms of this, metal carbonate, because sodium is a metal and CO3 stands for carbonate. So whenever metal carbonate reacts with acid, HCl is acid, it gives salt. What is sodium chloride? Sodium chloride is neither acid nor base. It gives salt, plus CO2 is carbon dioxide, plus H2 is water. Remember this, whenever metal carbonate reacts with acid, it gives salt plus carbon dioxide plus water. Now let us take metal hydrogen carbonate in place of metal carbonate. That is, in another test tube B, we will take metal hydrogen carbonate and see what will happen. This is the setup which we are doing with sodium hydrogen carbonate. What is the only difference? Instead of sodium carbonate in test tube B, this is my test tube B. Okay, I have replaced the test tube A with test tube B on the stand. On the stand, I have fixed test tube B, and in that test tube B, I have poured sodium hydrogen carbonate. Already dilute hydrochloric acid, I am mixing with sodium hydrogen carbonate. So, why is this present? I didn't say anything about this test tube, right? The second test tube which is provided in this setup, I didn't say earlier also. I'll tell you later why this test tube is provided. For now, concentrate on what will happen when sodium hydrogen carbonate and dilute HCl are placed in one tube. Whenever sodium hydrogen carbonate and dilute HCl, that is, the procedure is same. That is, in place of test tube A, for the second setup, we'll have test tube B. Okay, that is, here we are taking test tube B with 0.5 gram of sodium hydrogen carbonate, and then we are closing the test tube B with 2 holes rubber stopper, and then we are inserting a thin steel funnel through one hole and inserting a delivery tube through other hole. Then we are pouring 2 ml of dilute HCl to test tube B. Okay, that is what we are doing. Now, what will be our observation? Whenever sodium hydrogen carbonate reacts with HCl, what will happen? This will again split up. Okay, this is water. Whenever sodium hydrogen carbonate reacts with hydrochloric acid, this will be separated. That is, sodium reacts with chlorine to form sodium chloride. Then we have 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen, it will form water. And then 1 carbon is left and 2 oxygens are left, it will form carbon dioxide. So remember, whenever metal hydrogen carbonate, sodium hydrogen carbonate means sodium stands for metal, H stands for hydrogen, and CO3 stands for carbonate. That is, metal hydrogen carbonate, whenever it reacts with acid, whenever they are taken in one test tube, what will form? A salt will form, a carbon dioxide will form, and water will form. So until this procedure, I think it is clear. That is what will happen when acid is reacting with metal carbonate and what will happen when acid is reacted with metal hydrogen carbonate. Now I'll tell you why we are using this calcium hydroxide. So in the earlier 2 reactions, we got carbon dioxide and the product. That is, when we took sodium carbonate in test tube A and reacted with hydrochloric acid, we got sodium chloride, water, and carbon dioxide was released. And in the second setup also, in the test tube B, we had taken sodium hydrogen carbonate and mixed it with hydrochloric acid. We got sodium chloride, water, and carbon dioxide. So in both of these, we got carbon dioxide at the product side. Now, how to know whether carbon dioxide is produced or not? That we can say by doing one extra step. That is, we are passing this carbon dioxide, which we are getting through this. You can see here carbon dioxide is there. That is, when sodium chloride is reacting with hydrochloric acid, we know carbon dioxide is produced. So we can see carbon dioxide is here. But with eyes, that we cannot say with our naked eyes that carbon dioxide is produced. So what we do is, we connect this test tube with a delivery tube, and in such a way that in this tube, we take calcium hydroxide. Okay, calcium hydroxide is known as lime water. So when we pass this, when carbon dioxide is released and when it is passed through this calcium hydroxide CaOH2 solution or lime water solution, then this lime water solution turns milky white. The color change to milky white indicates that carbon dioxide is released in this tube. Okay, because carbon dioxide, we know it is colorless. We don't know whether carbon dioxide is produced or not. How to know that carbon dioxide is released? When a metal carbonate reacts with acid or when a metal hydrogen carbonate reacts with acid? By passing it through a calcium hydroxide solution, or it is also known as lime water solution. When that calcium hydroxide solution turns to milky white color, we can say that carbon dioxide is released in this test tube. What is the 7th point in my procedure? Pass the gas. In both the setups, we are passing the gas. That is, when we took test tube A also, we are passing the gas evolved through lime water, and in test tube B also, we are passing the gas evolved through lime water. So what will be my reaction? Lime water chemical formula is CaOH2. What are we passing calcium hydroxide with? We are passing this calcium hydroxide with carbon dioxide. That is, carbon dioxide is passed through the delivery tube here, and we know calcium hydroxide is present here. So when carbon dioxide mixes with this calcium hydroxide solution, what will form? This calcium reacts with carbon dioxide and 1 oxygen it takes from here to form calcium carbonate, that is CaCO3. So this calcium carbonate, we know that precipitate is indicated by downward arrow. So this calcium carbonate is white in color. That is why we are saying that lime water turns to milky white. And since we have 2 hydrogens left here and 1 oxygen left here, it will form H2O, water. Okay, how to write this reaction? Calcium as it is, carbon dioxide also as it is, 1 oxygen it will take from here. So 2 plus 1, 3. Calcium carbonate is formed. Then 2 hydrogens are left and 1 oxygen is left. So H2O, water. Now this is the reaction. Now suppose if you want to pass this calcium carbonate again with more amount of this calcium carbonate and water which we are getting in this setup, what is produced here? Here we have, when this carbon dioxide is passed with calcium hydroxide, we have calcium carbonate is released and we know water is also released. Now again, with this calcium carbonate and water in this test tube, again we are passing more amount of carbon dioxide. That is, we are providing excess carbon dioxide. That is, we are providing more amount of carbon dioxide to the calcium carbonate and water which we are getting. So calcium carbonate and water, when it reacts with excess amount of carbon dioxide, it will give me calcium bicarbonate. What is the chemical formula of calcium bicarbonate? CaHCO3 twice. This twice belongs to hydrogen and carbonate both, which is aqueous in nature. Why it is aqueous in nature? Because three solutions are mixed together. Okay, so remember that calcium bicarbonate means this carbonate, we know it is CO3, and H is also sometimes called as bicarbonate. So since it is true here, calcium bicarbonate. Okay, so when we pass this calcium carbonate and water with some more amount of carbon dioxide, okay, which we are getting here, if we are passing more amount of carbon dioxide again further, then we are obtaining calcium bicarbonate. Okay, so our main reaction was, we wanted to know whether carbon dioxide is released or not. So what did we, main result we got from this, whenever acid reacts with metal carbonate, salt and carbon dioxide and water is released. And similarly, whenever acid reacts with metal hydrogen carbonate, salt, carbon dioxide and water is released. Okay, this is the result of this experiment. Hope you have understood. If you have any doubt, please comment below and do share the video with your friends, and also like, subscribe and comment. Thank you.